What is up, everybody? In this video, I'm going to show you how I go about filling in holes in your auto body panels. So if you guys have seen any of my other videos, I have picked up this C20 pickup that I'm doing this whole garage restore on. I'm going to give a little update on my progress there. If you want to jump ahead to the meat of this tutorial video, then click that chapter marker below and it will jump you ahead. Now, pretty much this truck needs a lot of body work. So I thought I'd make a little mini series on the videos. Some of these videos are going to be painting it with a cheap air paint gun, redoing the whole drip rails with like seam sealer, shaving marker lights, and then this video. So in this video, we're going to be using my 20-year-old Harbor Freight MIG welder I got when I was like 12. I don't know why the people kind of skip this process. If you've ever worked on an old car before, you've probably seen that Play-Doh effect Bondo through the trim holes. It's really easy, so you could use this technique on bolt trim holes. Just weld it up and it makes life a lot easier, and it makes your body work last a lot longer. So let's jump into it. The tools we're going to need is obviously the MIG welder. You're also going to need an angle grinder, a flap disc sander of some sort on an angle grinder, and then a wire wheel grinder to scrape some paint off. Let's jump right into it. So I'm working on my tailgate here, which obviously came off a different truck. It has a variety of hole sizes from pinholes to dime size holes. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to grab our wire wheel, put some safety glasses on, start grinding up all the holes. You want to get the surrounding area so the paint's not getting affected by the weld. And then also you want to hit the hole at different angles so you're getting the entire circumference down to clean raw metal. All right, everyone, so you can see that the holes are all ground up and ready to weld. Now there's a couple little tools that can help you in this process. The way I'm going to show you how I go about welding it, it's kind of the easiest way I've found. The other ways are a copper backer, so when you're welding, the weld doesn't actually go through. There's also a little hole punch tool that makes little metal discs that fit inside the hole. And then there's like a fiberglass method. The first two are cool little Eastwood tools. You can use those, but I found that this way is kind of the cheapest, easiest way to do it, and will always work even if you can't get behind the hole, just like I obviously can't here on my tailgate. So let's get to it. Let's start welding this up. First thing we're going to do is unplug the battery. We don't want to short anything out. All right, so y'all know I'm not a professional welder. I'm a guy in his garage building a car. So this is my 14-year-old Harbor Freight Flux MIG welder. What I do is to set this up, pretty much I'll put the feed at like a 6 or 7. If I'm on body panels, which are like a 16 gauge sheet metal, I'll put it on a minimum setting. Then I flip it on. The only thing I really do to the tip is make sure that there's no bead on the end there. So I'll just snip the bead off. Then I'll make sure the wire's feeding correctly. If not, replace the little tip on the end, and then I ground it. In this case, this bolt that I found holding my tailgate up. All right, my microphone is in my welding helmet, so sorry if this sounds a little funny, but pretty much now we're at the point where we're gonna start welding. I'm gonna just do a big hole because it's the hardest thing to do. A small hole is pretty easy. You can see one right here. You just throw a little tack in there, hit the top side of the hole, and it'll be done. Like that. That's done. All right, so the trick to this whole thing is you see the hole, it's ground out. The inside has been ground pretty nice. What you're gonna wanna do is hit a little tack on the top side of the circle. So if you think of the circle as like a clock, right? Then you're trying to hit the tack somewhere in between 10 and 2 o'clock. So then that way, every tack that you put in, it's gonna build a little bridge across this hole. So if I hit a tack, wait for it to cool, hit another tack, wait for it to cool, hit another tack, wait for it to cool, and eventually we're gonna build a bridge across this hole. All right, so now you can see we have a little bridge across there. And then we're just gonna hit some more tacks to fill up the hole on either side of the bridge. And that's it. We do that to every single hole. Then we grind it all down, sand it, put a little body fill in, we're done. All right, now it's time to grind all these welds down. For this, I use a combination of just a metal grinding wheel and then a flap disc 36 grit metal angle grinder wheel until it's nice and smooth. Then we're gonna hit it with the orbital sander with like an 80 grit, something that's gonna smooth the metal out nice. Put some body filler in, do some primer, and we're good to go. So let's start grinding down all these welds till the metal's nice and smooth. All right, everybody, so once you've had all those weld holes filled up and you've ground down the weld and sanded it, that's kind of the core of this video. That's how you actually go about filling in the bolt and trim holes. Now, if you're finishing it up for a final job, then you're gonna wanna spend some more time doing some body filler, painting, sanding, wet sanding, all that good stuff. For the tailgate, I just did a quick little body filler, sanding it down and hitting it with some primer. I did it quick this way because this tailgate's still full of dents. It needs to be completely resurfaced after I pull the dents out. So kind of just want the color to be uniform, so I hit it with some primer. But as for filling the bolt holes and trim holes in this whole video, you're pretty much complete. And that's it. If you guys want to check out some more restoration videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.